This is Shea's Plays. I'm back. I'm Shea. These are my plays. These are my reviews. I told you I was going to come around with some specials. So this is my first special show. All right. And I'm going to hit kind of the Christmas, winter, New Year, holiday season shows. My top movies, my top 10. Okay. We don't really have like a New Year's section of movies. Everything kind of always flows in from that period of time. So I'm kind of doing that now. With this, there's going to be a little bit different. So I'm gonna do, some top tens, some top fives. I'm gonna have maybe like rainy day movies to watch, throwback Thursdays, best movies to fall asleep to, things like that. Stuff that's on my list that I kind of have in queue for whenever I need them. Okay, so that's where I'm going with this, and I'm gonna try and maybe once a week, once every couple of weeks, starting off, I'm gonna do a special. And so if you have any comments, questions, suggestions as to like what kind of special you'd like to see, please comment. Let me know what you want to see. Again, I'm working through this. I'm figuring it out as I go along. So we're gonna figure it out together. All right. So with this, moving forward with a holiday, wintertime movie list, I want to keep this in mind. I want you guys to remember this is my list. Okay, this is in no way the list of movies, holiday movies. Okay, but it's just where I'm coming from. All right. Also, a disclaimer: I'm not reviewing every movie on this list with the full Shea's Play scores. Okay, I'm just gonna do the Shea score. All right. The reason that I do that is because a lot of these movies I'm actually going to get back to. Okay. I'm going to review them at some point in time. And there's going to be someone there that you might say, hey, you know what? You might drop me a comment and say, Shea, I want you to review that. Give me your your dig about that. Okay, cool. So I'm just going to give you the Shea score because, again, this is my list. So this is a complete subjective list on what I want to do on those films. Okay. So just to get started, I got 5 honorable mentions. Okay, I know that these are probably going to come up, and I wanted to kind of address them. They're not on my top 10 list, but they were close. They almost made it. In no particular order, I'm going to start off with The Family Stone. I mean, it's an amazing, emotional holiday romance, comedy, drama that hits on a lot of points about loss, about the family dynamic, growth together as a family. It's a great holiday watch, definitely. But you might want to have some tissues just in case, and some points that really hit you. It makes use really of a great cast as well. My next, kind of honorable mention is Four Christmases. Okay, this was Vince Vaughn at his best, being his disconnected, unemotional self. Okay, it was funny. It was, again, it touched on a lot of areas that we usually don't see during the holiday season, which is loss, disconnected family, divorce, things like that. And Reese Witherspoon, his co-star, or their stars together. I don't know how that works out. Anyways, but they work very well together, which is funny because the word on the street was that they really did not like each other. So, but it's a funny, great watch for those that want that alternative movie. How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Yeah, you guys probably thought this was going to be on my top 10. I mean, it's really a nostalgic. It hits all those nostalgic points. I mean, it's a fun movie, of course, until you realize it's about an entire town bullying one guy for his choice of preferences and holidays. But it's still fun, though. It's still fun. Just Friends. As a former awkward teenage fat kid, Just Friends is also a holiday movie that's not centered on the holidays, but it hits a lot of fun points that come up during the holidays. People having to come back to their hometown, having left behind their, lives from before and all of that. And, Ryan Reynolds, Amy Smart, and Anna Faris, they all work together very well, kind of in that love triangle type thing, And it's a fun movie. And finally, The Polar Express. This is a nostalgia bomb. It is a great movie. You just feel like you're gonna have set up a train set and eat gingerbread cookies and watch the Polar Express. It feels like the best parts of the early '90s, late '80s Disney resurgence. Like it's a great movie. It's not on my top list though, but we about to get into my top list. Now this is in a particular order, and again, I'm gonna only give the Shea's play score on this. Okay, I'm not gonna do the whole thing. All right, my number 10, A Nightmare Before Christmas. I'm giving this a 7 out of 10. Tim Burton has a very particular style. We all know this. And he had some great movies in the early 90s. And this is a really fun movie for the alternative. Okay, this is like, oh man, I don't want to sit down and watch the usuals that, show up later on in my list. But, it has that spirit. It's a fun, The reason I give it a 7 out of 10 is because for me, it's not a real rewatchable movie for me. Like, it's fun. I've watched it, but it's not something I'm just like, man, I gotta go back and watch that. Like some of the other ones on this list. But it is a very great alternative. I love it for the visuals. It reminds me so much of, again, those early 90s Disney resurgence. It was in a lot of those previews, and it just was different. And I love different. So that's my number 10. Number 9, The Preacher's Wife. This don't get on a lot of lists, and I'm frustrated at that it doesn't, because it is such a great holiday movie. Denzel, Whitney Houston, the usual not fallen angel, but angel that's got to get his wings kind of storyline. So for this, I'm giving it a 7.5 out of 10 as Shea's play score. It runs a little long, but that kind of works for what's going on. Okay, it hits all of the fun holiday points. There's snow, there's Christmas, there's all of that. I mean, like it's fun, but it's not centered around the holidays. Centered around this very wholesome family story, to where, of course, Denzel is always at his best. And it's a great, if you have not watched it, go watch it. Put it on your holiday list. My number 8, Fat Man. Now, this is a new entry, and I'm giving it an 8 out of 10. My Shea score is an 8 out of 10 for Fat Man. Fat Man, again, is an alternative to a lot of the holiday. Mel Gibson as a grizzled, battle-tested Santa who's being chased by an assassin that Santa judged as a bad kid, and then that was hired by a bad kid. Come on now. It hits a lot of fun points. I mean, you have action, you have adventure to, like it's got the Christmassy holiday feel to it, but it also has that, like, okay, kind of Lethal Weapon-y, Mel Gibson, but like now he's in the older guy position, and the cast works so well together. It made its way into my top 10 because of how great it was when I first watched it, and it still is that great. Number 7, Jingle All the Way. Now, Jingle All the Way for me is an 8.5 out of 10. I'm going to talk probably about Rotten Tomatoes in my reviews, and the reason that I am is because I feel they get it wrong a lot. I feel like a lot of people go to Rotten Tomatoes to see how they should feel, and then that informs where they go and watch a movie or how they watch a movie. The reason I say that is because Rotten Tomatoes scored Jingle All the Way 19%. If you haven't seen Jingle All the Way, it's Arnold Schwarzenegger, Sinbad, Phil Hartman, okay? And it is such a fun movie. Arnold Schwarzenegger forgets to buy his son a toy that is now sold out. It's early 90s, so you can't get on the internet, you can't do any of that, and has to go on this adventure to get this toy for his son. It is an amazing movie, has some of the greatest comedic timing that you will see in a Christmas movie. It has some just fun points that really hit on some serious issues, some consumerism, some capitalist, kind of like, yo, what are we really doing when it comes to the holiday, when it comes to Christmas? And it is a great, again, it's an 8 out of 5, it's an 8.5 out of 10 for me. Please do not look at the reviews of this and say, oh, it's trash. No, it is exceptional. But number 6, okay, Batman Returns. You probably haven't thought about it in the concept of a holiday movie and this and that, but the Art Deco, kind of Christmas decorations, all of that, the big, huge, Santa caps, the tree in the middle of it. I mean, like, it is a holiday epic. Also, I mean, it's nostalgic for me. That's my Batman. But if you're gonna sit down and you're gonna watch something, it's snowing throughout the entire movie. It's got kind of a gray feel to it. It's just great. It's a great holiday movie. Okay. I don't remember if I scored it, but if I did not, I'm gonna say it's an 8.5 out of 10 for me. Okay. Number 5, Die Hard. We're not about to get into a discussion about how Die Hard was released in June or July or whatever it was or any of that, okay? Die Hard is a Christmas movie, okay? It is a holiday movie. At very least, it is a winter movie, okay? Die Hard changed the game. It became the standard. We now had Die Hard on a bus, okay? Speed. Die Hard on a boat, Speed 2. You had Die Hard on a plane, Passenger 57. You had Die Hard on a plane again, which was Air Force One. Sorry, forgot there for a second. You had well, maybe Passenger 57 was a plane. There was another one that was on a train, but Die Hard became the standard. It was the everyman that now becomes the action hero of their own story. Anyways, that's my number 5. Okay. Number 4, It's a Wonderful Life. I recently within the last year, watched it all the way through for the first time. It's a 9 out of 10 for me. Okay. It's a Wonderful Life it's fun, but it's classic, but it also is timeless, because even when we look at some of the things that Jimmy Stewart was talking about in the movie, I mean, he was thinking, life would be better for everyone without me. This is something that still, needs to be talked about, especially around the holiday season, because it's not always great around the holiday season for a lot of people. So it's number 4, It's a Wonderful Life. Number 3, Elf. It's a 9.5 out of 10 for me, okay? Elf is a representative piece of how Jon Favreau is just has the Midas touch when it comes to all his films, whether it's Elf, the MCU, The Mandalorian. I mean, come on, man. But Elf is fun. It's Will Ferrell at his comedic best. It is a story that at that point in time had not been told before, had not been approached. And the execution was amazing. It's an entertaining. You can also, it's very quotable. I love movies that are very quotable. My number 2, Home Alone. It's 9.75 out of 10 for me. Put it into perspective, Home Alone made over $1 billion adjusted for inflation in 1990. Okay. It made 451 million, I believe, 461. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, adjusted for inflation, I know it is over $1 billion. It is a fun, nostalgic, just timeless movie. Even though some of the plot points, even though some of the things that are in there, we look at it and say, I don't know if that would happen nowadays. Like, yeah, it wouldn't happen nowadays, but it is like a perfect time capsule for that early 90s, for that kind of time period. And it just feels great to watch it around that period of time. And my number 1, I think you guys know what this is. A Christmas Story. It's a 10 out of 10 for me. The Christmas Story it encapsulates not just the Christmas aspect of it, but it is a fun holiday wintertime movie. And it also, the pursuit of a young child trying to get a gift. I related so much to Ralphie when I was a child. This idea of like, I'm going through every channel possible. I'm going to go to Santa. I'm going to go to wherever. I'm going to go over here. I'm going to go to my teacher. I'm going to go every channel possible to get my Red Ryder BB gun because he knew better than everyone else. And then the realization that he might not have known better than everyone else. It is the classic. Like, you know, we talk about It's a Wonderful Life, all of other ones like that, but it is the classic film. Okay. And there you have it. That is my top 10 holiday, Christmas, New Year, wintertime films. Okay. It's one of those top 10s that I'm going to revisit every year because there's going to be some adjustments. And it's just like with every top 5 or top 10 or best, I'm going to revisit them. So this may change in upcoming years. I mean, especially since Fat Man came out like a couple years ago. So, you know, there might be another one in the top 10 in this upcoming year. So anyways, comment, let me know what you think of the list. Let me know what you think of my number one. I don't think a lot of people can argue with my number one, but you might want to. It's a Wonderful Life, maybe your number one. But Die Hard, maybe your number one Christmas movie, your holiday movie that you go to. Let me know in the comments. Also, keep an eye out because after I do my worst movie, you know, kind of give you the parameters. After I do my worst, I want to start doing giveaways. So my first giveaway is going to be movie tickets, and I'll see what's coming out. But I'm gonna most likely just get a couple of movie passes, and we're gonna go from there. So as I say all the time, I hope you have a great day, great week, month, year, and as always, peace, love, and film. Cue the music.